Hello and welcome to B2Beast, the best place to collect killer ideas for big business. And today we have got a beast in the building. He is an international trainer and public speaking coach who helps business executives master public appearances, presentations, and keynotes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alistair Davis.
You know what, Travis? You got my name right. I couldn't believe it. After 2 years, you're like, how do I say your name? Alistair?
Listen, this is a crucial part of podcasts. Actually,
I'm going to get some hieroglyphics. I'm going to get like a hieroglyphic tablet and like email it to you and say, this is how it is. 2 birds, 1 rock.
Well, we've made it through, and it is an honor to have you, because you have been filling a much needed niche in the post-pandemic era, especially in the context of digital presentation. But this has been a game changer for my world, kind of finally understanding how to properly present yourself, especially even as an introvert, thinking it was exclusive to like those extrovert social butterflies. And you are carving a path for people of all levels, and especially high-level business folks, to really hone in on their presentation style and their craft. So I am honored and excited to have you here on the show today, man.
Thank you. Now, I'm equally as honored, and I'm also excited to get into it because it's been a long day. It's late where I am. So, you know, I'm doing the extra 9 yards here.
No, this is amazing. Well, let's start right there. Simply, where are you tuning in from? And what are you most grateful for in your world right now, in life and business and anything?
So I'm in Milan, Italy. And what I'm grateful for is my job. I really like getting up in the morning. It's tough. You know, some days I'm like, I don't want to go to school. but I just love what I do. And I love teaching people the skill of public speaking, using their voices. And I think it's just being heard, because there's so much noise around us, right? And people just want to be heard, either online or face-to-face on stage.
True. No, and this is, I think, what we're going to go deeper and deeper into today. So I'm excited to give like at least a snapshot of your world, your story. What is the most exciting win you have in your career? What is one of the biggest milestones or big projects, or anything you've accomplished that you're proud of, want to bring to the surface here?
Yeah, I think one of the proudest things that I have developed is a methodology to speak. And because I loved speaking and from a young age, we'll get into how I got into this, but the methodology that I've discovered or unearthed, developed, whatever you want to call it, has been taken around the world. Thousands of people have enjoyed it, and it's been translated into Mandarin. So I was like, whoa, that's cool. People all over the world are enjoying my content, my methodology, and it works in Chinese, in Mandarin.
Wow. No, this is amazing. We are going to get into stealing your secret sauce exactly like that. I'm excited to jump into it. Let's hit perhaps something on the other end of the spectrum that maybe hasn't been so glorious on this journey. What epic failure have you had in your career or your business building, and what lessons can we extract from that?
Okay, so failing was prior to Jabba. So I started my career in software sales in Dublin. Then I moved to London, and then I said, well, I'd like to go back home and be an entrepreneur. So I partnered with my brother, and we made this green company. It was called Green Power. And we thought we were going to take over the world. We thought we were rock stars because we had some early wins and people were loving our product. And so we thought, no, we're going to open a branch there and a branch there, and we're just going to take over the world. I've ordered a yacht. It's coming. The Lambo and the yacht, I can see it in my future. And then we crashed hard. Oh my God. We just minus many digits in the bank account, and it took us 3 or 4 years to crawl our way out of that debt. But we got out of the debt, and then I had enough of that, so sold my share out of that business quick, smart. But I think the lesson is, don't make sure your eyes are not bigger than your stomach. Too often we get caught up in our own arrogance or our own ego, and we think, of course I'm going to be successful. I mean, look at this. I'm killing it. So why not just... And there are those moments where, you should put your foot on the floor and put your foot on the gas. But I think we expanded too quickly too soon, and everything fell down. Oh, and have a good account. And have a good accountant.
That always helps too. What signals did you see that were the indicators of the ship is no longer sailing at the speed, or I guess that yacht was coming to reality? What signals were you seeing? At least internally, that were starting to pop up, that you might have been able to slow that down or get ahead of the game on that?
Yeah, I think we didn't read the markets or the macroeconomic factors of what was going on. So we were sort of innovators. We were one of the first companies, and then people tried to emulate us and copy us. And then there was just too much competition. It wasn't regulated, the industry. And so our pie was being chopped and made smaller and smaller and smaller. And it happened so quickly. So we were importing solar equipment from China in 40-foot containers. And at one stage, we had 2 40-foot containers on the water because we'd already pre-sold them. Pre-sold all the stock. And so when you selling 2 40-foot containers at a time, you think, wow, I mean, we're pretty cool, but we weren't.
Okay, no, interesting. Just, hoping there might be some of those early signals to pop up, because a lot of folks, when you are in that excitement phase and you're almost infatuated with the excitement and it's all going to work out, it is really helpful to have that data, those analytics, those hard signals and numbers to really keep your reality in check. So love hearing that. Would love to hear now in your journey, what is the wildest or perhaps the most creative or innovative way you've seen somebody earn business or earn attention, or at least open the door in a creative way? Have you seen any from the people you've coached, you've trained, or perhaps just in your journey throughout life and business? What's the most creative or innovative way somebody's opened the door?
I think it's interesting because I read a book a while back called How to Get a Meeting with Anyone by Stu Heinecke. He was a Wall Street Journal cartoonist. I don't know if you know him.
Interesting. No, I do not, but I am immediately interested in where this is going.
So Stu, there's a cool story about Stu. So he's American from California, and in the early 80s, late 70s, he was going through a Hustler I don't know if it was a Hustler or a Playboy, one of those magazines, and he saw this Danish woman in there that he really liked. Anyway, the long story short is he somehow wangled his way over to Denmark and met this woman and married her. And he's like, I had a Zoom call with him, and he's like, oh man, every day I wake up and I'm like, man, I'm a lucky guy. He's just telling me this stuff. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. What a cool story. Anyway, I digress because he has this thing called contact marketing where he sends people like a personalized A1 cartoon of themselves. So of them and their business in situ. So if let's say he'll send one to you, let's say it's you, and you'll be you in the booth going whatever, and then the little speech bubble will go, I got no internet, or something like that. And it'll be for Travis. As you get this in the post, you're obviously going to open it, and B, you're going to frame it and put it in your office. Because how cool is that? Your own personal cartoon. Now, if you extrapolate that to a Fortune 500 or a Fortune 100 company, you're going to get an 80% strike rate of at least getting the thing opened.
Yeah.
And you will get a meeting. So at the back of his thing, he asks for a meeting. And the thing is, he's using his special power, the thing that makes him unique, to get a meeting. Because I can't draw cartoons.
Wow.
But what I am thinking of doing is creating a 45-second explainer of myself in 12 to 15 accents with different outfits. And so I shoot one in one accent, shoot the second one in another, and then chop it up. So,
oh man. Yeah, that'll hold the attention.
That'll be cool if they're like, hey Travis, I'm a real big fan of your work. And then, yeah, but I think that you're too blue in the background.
Oh, that would work. It would work on me. I would have to watch all the way through to see them all come through. That's a brilliant example. I didn't know where we were starting there at the beginning. But that is phenomenal to hear, because it really is. That was like the most ultimate sale that guy made, and from a cold DM. So that's a brilliant story. Appreciate you sharing that. So now for the second half, we tap into your secret sauce. Clearly, you're doing something right over there, rocking and rolling, living in Milan now in your new setup. Absolutely amazing. So in your day-to-day life, just approaching life, business, what habit or task is non-negotiable for you? What's something you have to do like every day, or try to do every day?
Try to do every day. It's planning. I think planning is something that if you get it right, you can easily get that 4-day working week. I haven't cracked it, to be honest. I'm like 4+4, but
Yeah.
is it 8-day week? That's weird. I thought there was 7.
I feel like oh man.
So planning is, and blocking out the time. So what I do is I block it out on G Suite, and in that hour I will put in the specific task. I mean, I've got a CRM system and I use Asana and other things, but I think like simple is better, and I like just blocking out time and planning for the week inside G Suite.
Simple. Yeah. No, I think a lot of it, time, we see over and over time management and just being able to contain the chaos, especially the higher up the food chain you go, the more distractions. People are sending you cartoon postcards in the mail, trying to get your time, take a meeting. So it is one of those things, to really do in an important way. And you started mentioning the tech and the tools. So I'd love to hear perhaps what is your minimized tech stack? What tools or applications do you use in your world, and how exactly do you use them?
So when I present, I use Prezi Video.
Great.
I think I can get Prezi Video. Can I get Prezi You cannot change camera while recording. Okay.
Oh, you can share if you wanted to try and do it in screen. Instead of taking over your camera, you can do the screen share.
So you can't do that with Prezi, because Prezi is actually, it's a camera overlay.
Oh, so it's like a virtual cam that takes over your actual feed. Interesting.
Yeah. So if I'm presenting like this, then I could have my stuff there. So my PowerPoint or my image or my whatever is here. I'm talking to the camera.
Yep.
So if I'm doing a virtual keynote or training, it just puts me or more of me front and center, because what most people do is when they're presenting, they book the meeting and then they go, quickly get those slides up. Oh my God, thank God the slides are up. Now I can relax. And so it's like outsourcing your presence to slides, whereas you need as much of you and authentic you. Because, if you're hiding behind slides, you're just a little inauthentic and people can't see your face and your hands. So you've got to try and bring as much of you into picture to build that connection so that they can see, well, he's actually a real person. He's not a deep fake. Some robot voice behind a PowerPoint. Hello, Travis. I am so glad to be here with you.
That's where we're going with all this AI chat GPT generated content. Like, your actual voice, your face is what is going to sell the business and close the deal.
Well, you know what? I think that actually the pendulum is going to swing. I think people are going to go, you know what? I don't want to see an email or something. I want to talk to you live. If I feel that you've got a real pitch, I want to see this stuff. I don't want any fancy stuff, because it's just going to be a proliferation of content. And guess what? Nobody's writing it. They're just outsourcing it to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So do you actually know what you're talking about? Or have you written a bunch of articles that has been written by a robot?
Yeah. Oh, we see it over and over. And yeah, the personalization of that content, even if it's the same message, we're seeing it in YouTube search results. A lot of the top videos are switching from how to how I, and it's how that individual journey, how that creator and their story of doing it versus how to start a channel, how to start a podcast. And there's just like steps, like anybody can regurgitate that. But if you switch it to how I built a 6-figure podcast in 6 months, now you're in a whole different realm of getting people to pull into your story, your world, your message. So brilliant, to see the presentation version of that also coming to the surface of people craving that humanity, that connection.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like you can use OBS to do the overlays. I mean, you're an OBS king. So I'm the king of OBS.
It is one of my favorite tools for sure. But it is complex, as the problem is it's not as easy as perhaps Prezi might be, or some of these other things.
Yeah. So I actually cloned my voice. So there's 2 versions of me on the internet. It's at a text-to-speech company called Well Said Labs. I've actually got my cloned voice. Can I play it?
If you can, Google it, please do. You can give. I mean, I guess people listening on audio only won't have any idea if it's good enough. But yeah, try to connect your audio, give it a shot in whatever way you want to. I would love to hear and explore how I could do that myself or for ourselves.
Yeah, because I don't think you can. I can share presentation.
AI voices and generators are a powerful combination. If you have a chat GPT producing the content and then a synthetic voice coming in, like we're going to have like virtual influencers and content creators here pretty soon. So it is going to be a very fascinating era that we're approaching, to really have to question, is this actually that person talking? And that era is Gonna be a wild one.
Yeah. No, I don't know. It's going to be, I don't think I can share it. So I'll send you the file and people can play it. And that's my voice. It sounds so similar to me.
So how does that process work? Do you have to feed them sample data? Do they use, that's basically it.
It's 2 hours. It's probably about 3 hours of narration. So you read, you chop it up, take out the ums, the ahs, the breaths. You process it according to like 24-bit, 16 kilohertz sound processing, send it to them. They plug it into their machine. The machine learns it, and then you have a new voice.
That is so wild. That is so wild. We'll have to check that out. What was the service or the company you were utilizing for that?
It's called wellsaidlabs.com.
Well Said Labs. Perfect.
It's
we'll have that link as well.
Yeah. So it's really cool if you're going to explain it. So my avatar is Jude R. So if you want my voice, if you like the sound of my voice, you can use Jude R and it'll spit out MP3s just like me.
Oh, so now you're in the system that other people can now use your voice as a...
Yeah. So I'm on a royalty. So I'm on a royalty share with them. So they've got a number of voice artists. Because I used to be a voice artist, I still do it from time to time, hence teaching people to present and the voice, etc. So they've got a number of voice artists. I'm one of them, but my avatar is called Jude R. And you put in the text and it spits out. They've got an editor and everything. So it's pretty phenomenal.
Wow. No, this is amazing where this is going. And it leads right back into the human version of what people are pursuing when you don't have an AI voice to go pursue this. And we have to use our own voice. And a lot of that work is just work, discovery, training, upskilling. So that's what I want to tap into for the last portion of this. Secret sauce is essentially your specific process or method. I know it's a long journey to cultivate that skill, but can you share your specific approach and or the best homework we can have on our end to start and at least start priming ourselves for this journey of being a better presenter?
Yeah, for sure. So I want to talk a little bit about the macro environment in which we are living, the here and the now, 2023. It's one of too much information daily that we have to learn, assimilate, and are exposed to. And that's only going to increase with the advent of AI. So we are getting too much information. Not only that, we're getting distracted all the time by Twitter, LinkedIn, Slack, Discord, whatever's happening, plus text messages in our lives. So our attention spans are narrowing. This is proven. I read a study by the Technical University of Denmark. And what they looked at was how long things stay top of the pops. And they analyzed thousands of tweets, books, songs, research papers, and they found that over time, in the recent times, that songs, tweets, books, everything stays less popular for shorter time. And they came to the conclusion that we're not getting more stupid with this. We're as intelligent as we were 50 years ago, but too much information, too many distractions. What this means is, as a presenter, as a speaker, you got to grab somebody's attention very quickly. When you get on stage, when you're on a video, on a presentation, on a Zoom call, you need to grab somebody's attention quickly because they have got so many other things that are competing for their attention. They might even have their webcams off because I don't know about you, but I've got 65,000 tabs on the top of my browser.
At least that many.
So that is how we are assimilating and being exposed to information, just like Twitter, just like TikTok. YouTube Shorts, right? So that's how we're thinking. So the first thing that you have to do, and this is part of my speaking and presenting methodology called GRABS. It's an acronym. GRABS. GRABS. G. Grab their attention, fire up the limbic brain. Send a bit of dopamine into the brain. They go, oh, what's this? Hang on, I was going to check if chickens can swim underwater on my phone, but now I'm wired in. You got me. Where are you going with this? Get the attention. Once you've got the attention, you've got to think about how you can answer what's in it for me. The audience needs to go, okay, I'm interested. Right. Yes. I like what you're doing there, but I'm not quite sure what you're doing. Oh, you are interested in my problems and what I would like to listen to. So how that manifests itself, if you're talking to a group of people on a show or in a meeting, get their attention, find out what they want to listen to, what's important for them in the room. Try and understand what are the top 3 things they want to know, the top 3 problems they have. You might know one person in the audience, and you might have understood what his or her problems are, but there might be 6 others or 7 others in the room, and you don't know what their problems are because you don't have time. The R of the GRABS is reconfirm pains and gains, answering what's in it for me. You got to find that out very quickly because people want to know and think that you are empathetic and understanding what's important for them. You can't get on stage or do your presentation online and start with the brag slide. You know, I'm very important, I'm global, I've got 4,000 clients, and I'm really quite well known.
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody does. And then the audience goes, oh, all right, okay, yeah, cool. You're fantastic, we got it. But how are you going to solve my problems? Because that's actually why I'm here. Why and how are you going to solve my problems? So that's the G and the R. The A is activate the brain and the heart every 3 to 5 minutes. Because the chieflearningofficer.com says that adults learn in 3 to 5 minute chunks. And whether you're inspiring, whether you are presenting, whether you are sharing information, every 3 to 5 minutes, you've got to try and activate this or that. That has to be through reflective questions. Pausing, thumbs up, share in the chat, answer the poll. Let me tell you a story. All of those things are pulling the audience back into your content, because if you're doing a monologue, I'm doing a bit of a monologue now, but I don't recommend that if you're presenting to a live audience. I mean, that's on the same call as you, is what I'm saying. So you got to activate the brain and the heart every 3 to 5 minutes. The B, well, that's the A, activate. So GRA. The B is be engaging with your non-verbals. So that means you could have the best techniques in the world, but if you're speaking to people like this, we'd like to show you on slide 5. We've got this graph. I'm sure you're very excited. I'm very excited. I'm very excited today. That's being engaging with your non-verbals. And that means have an engaging tone, not be monotonous. Use some pauses. Smile. Use open gestures. Stand up. Show that you are interested through the non-verbal communication, that you're a happy, empathetic, successful person. And I've grabbed your attention. I've reconfirmed what's important for you. I've activated your brain every 3 to 5 minutes, and I'm sounding like I'm having fun doing it. That's important, right? That's the B. The S is sell with story or story selling. So if you can wrap this up into a story somehow, a personal story is best, then you are making the audience try. They're trying you on, and if you can make the audience the hero of the story, or your prospect, or your customer, the hero inside that story, then they are sort of trying before they're buying. They're putting on your product or service jacket and going, yeah, it fits. Nice. I like it. Without even buying. So it's important to use stories if you can to make yourself more personable, to make products center stage as the hero or the company as the hero of the story. I mean, it's stuff a lot of people know already, right?
Yeah.
But if you can do that and do that effectively and do all the other things of the GRADS methodology, you'll become a much better presenter on this and a much better presenter on a stage.
Amen. Yeah, I have that buzzing as you were going through every single one of those. So we'll capture and help deliver that framework that you've really mastered to an expertise level, seeing how you work with other companies. And as you just mentioned, the levels of application and the channels of application, just jumping onto your Zoom calls. Like, you don't even have to be a keynote international speaker with your 4,000 clients. Like, just having that better presentation is immediately noticeable in day-to-day calls, your interactions, your office life. So all of this is so amazing, super valuable, super useful, and appreciate you for sharing your secret sauce. So let's go ahead and jump into the world's fastest game show here. Then we got a prize for you and the audience here on the other side here. We're going to play 3 rounds of this or that. Going to have randomly generated options here, and all you got to do is pick one. Are you ready to play?
Yes.
Yes. Wahoo!
Yay.
All right. Round 1. Get up early or stay up late. What type of man are you?
Get up early. I'm going to get up early. Go get him.
Oh, as we're keeping you up late, my apologies.
Yeah. Yeah. This doesn't come naturally. This needs a lot of beauty sleep.
Oh, well, this is a perfect, it literally just goes right into the next one. Firm mattress or soft mattress?
Oh, firm all the way. I don't want to, yeah. I don't want to lie on a bed of cats.
Oh, amazing. All right. And this one's kind of funky. Would you rather have 1 wish granted today or 3 granted in 10 years? And none of that wish for another wish shenanigans can't apply.
I you know what? I would go carpe diem and say YOLO, and we're doing it today.
Yes. Nice. Well, congratulations. You just beat the game, sir. You beat the game 100%. Your prize now. Why don't you go ahead and share? What are you up to right now, and how can these listeners get involved with what you're bringing to the table with Jabba training, with your presentations, your keynotes? You're making celebs and business all-stars out here. How do people follow you and get involved?
Cool. So I've got a website, jabbatraining.com. That's JABBA training, like Jabba the Hutt, but not. Jabba the Hutt was a very bad singer. He was terrible. There's me on LinkedIn, Jabba Training, or Alistair Davis. And if you want to book a discovery call with me, like, I like to just jump on the calls with people just to, I mean, if you have anything in mind, it's always good to just chat.
Perfect.
And find out what people are up to. And I like chatting because I do.
Oh, the voiceover artist enjoys chatting.
Yeah. So, it's a chat, or reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to chat some more, or if you want to have a jibber. That's where Jabba comes from, by the way. But did you ever watch the A-Team?
Not religiously, but I'm very familiar with it. Yes.
The original A-Team, there was B.A. Baracus, and he always used to say, "Quit your jibber jabber, fool."
Jibber jabber.
That is partly where I still love the A-Team, by the way. That's partly where the name comes from. So it's in the line of speaking.
Amazing, and highly recommended to anybody. Great LinkedIn follow. And yeah, the Jabba training method and approach and system, as you guys have been discovering today, really is top tier. So thank you for sharing that. Highly recommended. You guys check that out and start the journey. So let's tap into our final question here of the evening. We're going to hand the mic back to you one more time. And this last question is for one specific listener. They might be stuck starting this journey or just stuck trying to level it up and take it to the next level. What final words of advice or motivation can you share to send them into beast mode?
Well, I would say that everybody hates the sound of their voice and hates the way they look on camera. So that's the first thing. But the best way you are going to get better at speaking, presenting, is recording yourself on Zoom, on your phone, or whatever, and just making peace with it. That's how you sound. That's how you look. But more than that, look at what you're doing with your hands. Are you, using lots of ums and filler words? Do you sound like you've just been to a funeral? Do you sound and look bored? Look at yourself and go, do you sound and look bored? Because that's maybe what other people are experiencing. And also the beauty about recording is you can send it to a trusted confidant or a friend and say, what do you think? Where are we at? And that's your free coaching. That's the free feedback. And then if you want to go from there, then obviously you reach out to other people for help.
Amen. Start the journey today. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the B2Beast podcast.
You're a beast.